Hello, everybody. Is anybody out there? Hello. Hey, hope everybody's doing okay. Um, oh, good. So it's coming through, William. Thank you for the note. You never know, man. I don't know how all this goes. It's crazy. Anyway, last Sunday we had internet problems, so we weren't able to do it. California's on fire and power shortages and everything, and the internet company has been crashing and burning, so it's crazy. So anyway. Anyway, so here we are Wednesday evening. So let's see, it's 7 o'clock. So maybe everybody's gotten done eating dinner and what have you. And son of a gun, this is my computer updating. Good God. Oh, geez. So what you playing? A heritage of some kind. Yes, this is a Heritage Eagle Classic, and it is a solid mahogany with a floating pickup. I think this is about a 98 or 2003. So it's solid mahoganies, which is, I always liked the mahogany guitar. They sound a little darker. And so anyway, this one's is no exception. Great fingerstyle guitar. Yeah, she's leaving home. So yeah, I think this is a cool little guitar for that. My wife really liked it when I was playing a couple of guitars. Oh, you got my Laura. Isn't that a great piece? Oh yeah, William. Yes, you bought the Sweet 16. That was a real sweet guitar. They sure named that right, didn't they? I hope you're enjoying that. And I don't know if you've checked prices lately, but by the way, I've had a rough day. This is a brewing company, Figueroa Mountain Brewery Company. And this is their Danish Red. And they're a local brewery in San Luis Obispo, or Arroyo Grande, actually, central coast of California. And man, they make a sweet beer. Love it. So I thought, you know what? Let's go ahead and have a beer. By the way, I'm curious. Do you think this looks better than it did in the past couple of times, if you were able to see them? Because I'm hardwired now to the internet with my stuff instead of going wireless, and apparently that's supposed to be better. So that's why I'm asking you that. This has got a little problem with the jack. thought, after watching this a couple of times, I should figure out what I'm going to do. It's so anyway. If anybody's got any questions, yes, this is a 17-inch, and I'll tell you something. Okay, so William bought a 16, Sweet 16. I got a drinking problem. I can't seem to get it in my mouth. He's got a Sweet 16, and I played a 16-inch for decades. And but one time I got a 17-inch, and it felt really good. Now I just really like the 17-inch. I mean, I played an L4 at a 175 for decades, an L4 for another few decades, and then I think the first 17-inch I got, and then I had a sponsorship with Hofner. Those were all 17 or 16. So, but anyway, I kind of liked the 17-inch, and so I got to bring that guitar. I had Ed Schaefer build. God, man, I'm sorry, man. Did that go through your ears? Anyway, so Ed Schaefer built me actually a 17.5-inch with a 12-inch upper bow, and I got to share that. That's a real bitchin' guitar. A bit brittle or thin. I know what you sound like in person. Oh, Vegas Verb. Vegas, is that Greg? Is that you have a warmer tone than this mic is picking up? Granted, I agree with you. And I have a lot of the highs rolled off, but you know that you can't reproduce that sound out of a mounted pickup, which it is good or bad. But I mean, that's a pretty sound. My wife, who's heard me play a million times, says, the brighter tones, unless it's the ice pick through the forehead, you can hear it better when you're playing in a group. And I agree with that. But, you got to be happy with the tone that you're producing at the time. It's got to be inspiring to you. So, but, we all get used to a certain sound, and you turn the knobs to get it. So, pardon me, I'm always looking over here, and that's because I'm reading the questions and what have you. So that's, for what it's worth, the sound is a bit brittle. Something happened in here. So when I was in high school, my group was called the California Grassfields. I don't know if I mentioned this before. I've lost track. So, if I'm storytelling, I don't know what I said in the past. So if I've repeated it, forgive me. We idolized the Buffalo Springfield. I mean, I just bought, again, the Buffalo Springfield album, the one with Rock and Roll Woman. That tune, man, I think is one of the hottest songs. Oh. So we had a recording contract, and we went to Gold Star Records, the recording studio, to record our single. It was called A Long Day Tomorrow. in Chicago town, and it got to number 28 in Palmdale. And but one morning I actually woke up with my clock radio, with it actually playing on my clock radio, and it wasn't a recording, it was the radio station. But anyway, it was pretty short-lived. But so we recorded Gold Star, and that's where Buffalo Springfield recorded, and they had carved their names in the sound baffles, that go between the drums and the bass and stuff. So like we're reading, Neil Young, Steve Stills, Richie Fury. Oh my God, you're kidding. So of course we're going to be big stars. So we scratched our names in there too. Anyway, that was fun. Fun times. Okay, Greg Hartline, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining us. Greg has been to several of our workshops. He's a wonderful guitar player and singer, and doing the Vegas scene. Steven Stills, great player. Yeah, I love Steven Stills. Actually, Neil Young lives supposedly around here somewhere in Atascadero. He got married about 2 miles away from Daryl Hannah, 2 miles away from here. Did you ever see that show, Echo in the Canyon? I think it's on Netflix. It's about Laurel Canyon, in the 60s, the birds. Did we already talk about this? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, Buffalo Springfield. Just fired up your Christmas thumb drive when I saw you were alive. Well, great. How you doing, man? Steven Stills, yes, wonderful player. Anyway, that show, Echo in the Canyon, is about them. Let's see, I think, what's his name? Did Eva Destruction, Barry McGuire, and then Roger McGuinn, and all those guys were featured in it. Well, hello, how are you? How about? We have a visitor. This is like Mr. Rogers. That's my grandson. You didn't wreck the golf cart, did you? He took my golf cart. No, you did?
It didn't make it back.
Oh, great. Let's see, you want to play a tune? I had a list of songs and I left it in the house there. God darn it.
I can go get it. Where's that?
It's just scribbled on a piece of notebook paper on my desk. Thanks. You'd think I know this stuff by now. Yeah, this is pretty acoustic sounding, but I really like the tone, man. Hold on, you guys. I'll try to boost this. You know my motto, never be prepared. I hope I'm not overdriving it. Thank you. Something like that. Make it stop. Okay, let's go to the hotline here and see if we can see any more questions. Again, Fig Mountain Brewery. The pause that refreshes, the Danish red beer. Drink responsibly. Let's see, Mama Cass and let's see, Buffalo Spit down. Mama Cass, that's right, they talk about her in there. Oh, used to drive a lot of golf carts. On the other property we had, well, we just recently moved. We had 15 acres, and we had 2 golf carts, and we could go all over the place. I first had a 1942 Ford Army Jeep, and we used to drive that all over the place. It used to be so much fun. But, after 25 years on that place, it's like, oh, man, I'm getting tired of this. But anyway, so we moved to actually a modular home place. And so you got to have a golf cart. You got to get to the swimming pool and the clubhouse and the park and all that. And golfing. Yeah, golfing, it's like if you want to improve, you got to practice. Otherwise, you kind of go out and you're disappointed every time you play. What sex guys do you like or have you been influenced by? Sonny Stitt. Sonny Stitt, I love that guy. Ever listen to Kenny Poole? Well, Kenny Poole is that the guy from Dallas? Oh, okay. Yeah, yes, my youngest son is a musician. As well, he produces the CBS News in the San Francisco area. But he also writes music, and has a band too. Hey, does this feed look pretty good, Keener? Hey, Keener, could you check out this feed? Make sure it looks okay. All right, thanks. Is that Ralphie Valadares there? The Topanga Canyon guitar player, all around crazy guy and mud wrestler. Kenny Poole, Little Bird. I don't know what. All right, let's talk. You guys, let's talk about some music. What do you?
It's good unless you lean away. If you lean away, we can't really hear you.
If I lean away like this, you can't hear me. So maybe I ought to put this over here.
But like when you're leaning over to read the chat,
Yeah.
it's like,
Oh, okay. How's the picture?
It's super clear. You have a glare in your glasses, but I mean,
Okay.
yeah, there's not a way to.
Before we get into this, look at God. Jeez. Oh. Somebody shoot me. That's the with notifications, right? Where's that sound? Try to figure it out. Turn that sound down. Anyway, let's talk about music. You know, I was just working on a finger style version of the work song. Doesn't that sound cool? And then, yeah.
I'm gonna go grab something to drink first.
Okay. Isn't that a nice sound? So when you harmonize a melody, you want to try to think of other tones that enhance that melody. In other words, you don't want to you want to grow beyond playing inversions of. See, that's just all inversions. If we do it this way, we got a big fat dominant chord there. You see? And then we got, and then that's 2-5, or 5 of 5 of 5 to 5, and then to 1. So then gee whiz. And then I went da, 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 da. Sorry, I'm spacing out. I like that. So anyway, you want to kind of think of other lines that like Autumn Leaves. You got a counter line. One goes up, one goes down. So think about it. I mean, come on now, think about it. Let's take a look at the Hartline here. Pick and Stone. Kenny was one of the few that could play George Van Epps on a regular 6-string. Oh, that Kenny. I am so sorry. But yeah, that Kent, where did he live? Pittsburgh or... I played with him once because he was endorsed with Hofner at the NAMM show. Really super, super nice guy. I'm sorry, the name escaped me, but really super nice guy. And yeah, you're right. He could play those counter lines. He could really do that. And so we were playing at the NAMM show. And I was kind of, timid about playing. There's a lot of other guys were playing, and then it was our turn. They had at the NAMM show, they had this little club. They called it, I forget what it was called, but it looked like the cavern that the Beatles were at, right? It's probably why I went to the Beatle Museum. That was a trippy place in Liverpool. But anyway, so Kenny played with a couple other guys, and I'll tell you what, sometimes guys they get in those situations, and all they want to do is play as fast as possible, and just kind of just blow everything around and show off. I don't know how to explain it. It's just showing off and stuff. But when I got to play with Kenny, and we played about 2 or 3 songs, and I said, well, I better go and let somebody else play with you. Kenny says, no, stay and play. I thought, well, that was so nice of him. So that was really cool. And unfortunately, he passed away. Good gosh. Okay, so I'm looking at the things here. Sorry, I'm not. Nat Adderley, his solos are fantastic. The crazy, stupid, good. But he's a wonderful guy to study. Big chords hard to play when the tempo gets going. You baby. You're right, though. You got to play it so many times that you can play it in your sleep. It's one of those things that, when you learn something, the penny practice theory, got to be able to play it 5 times in a row, perfect. You start with 5 pennies over here. You play it perfect once you move a penny over. Play it again, you screw it up, move that penny back. You play it till you get all 5 pennies over. And then you do it again the next day. Okay. I don't know if Nat Adderley played with James Brown. Wow! So James Brown is going to sing the national anthem, right, for the baseball game. And so the organist says, well, James, what key do you want to do the national anthem in? He says, don't worry about it, man. I'll give you a note. Okay, so it's getting down to the wire now. And James, James, give me a key. Give me an idea of how you're going to sing it, so I know what to do. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight, singing our national anthem is Mr. James Brown. The organist says, James, give me a note. What key? Okay, here's your note. Wow! I don't care who you are. That's funny. Anyway, so James Brown is auditioning guitar players. He says, can you play C9? I said, yeah, I can play C9. Can you play it all night? What a band. I really regret not ever seeing him live. Dang. Anyway, James Brown, love him. Which, by the way, I went to the yard sale today, my wife and I. Check this out. Look at this. Why is that backwards? Why is that writing backwards, Kane? Anyway, it says the best of Sam Cooke. It's got all his hits. What a great album. Check this one out. Ray Charles' greatest hits. Everybody knows Georgia, Unchained Melody, Hit the Road Jack, Ruby, fantastic tune, right? You know what's on the flip side of Ruby? Hard-Hearted Hannah. And if you've ever heard Ray do Hard-Hearted Hannah and try to play with that, the tempo is just all over the map. 1 Mint Julep, I got news for you. That's the reason I had to have this. I've got that recording on other records, but I had to have it on there. Ray Charles. It was sad that when Ray died, it was too bad that President Reagan died at the same time or a day after. It kind of took all the wind out of Ray's press coverage because really he did more for music and probably social injustice than anybody. Check this out. And these albums are mint condition. Okay, Linda Ronstadt, It's So Easy. And I think this is Andrew Gold playing on it. I love Andrew Gold, man. He was so good. Got that one? And then check this out. Where are you ever going to find this? The best of Little Walter. My babe, she don't stand no cheating, my babe. So I got that. Chess Records. Have you seen the movie Cadillac Records? You got to see the movie Cadillac Records. What a great movie, all about chess records. I don't, I'm sure it's not historically accurate, but who cares? My only regret is that Bo Diddley wasn't even mentioned in that. Sonny Boy Williams, look at that. King Biscuit Time. Check these guys out. Man, is that cool or what? Look at that picture. Anyway, this was a real gold mine. Oh, and I had to get this. Greatest hits of the Mills Brothers. When I put this on, both my wife and I, it reminds me of our parents. I love that group, Mills Brothers. And then you got to get Frank. If you can find a good, nice LP that's not screwed up by being played 100 times. This has got Same Old Saturday Night on it. You know who paid for all of Sinatra's recordings? He did. You forget that, don't you? You think you're a big star and the record company pays for it. You end up paying for it. Okay, let's go to the hotline. I just did play a little Fly Me to the Moon, didn't I? Oh. Your first concert was Ray Charles, 1967. I have a friend that played with Ray for 5 years, Brad Rebution. If you go to 99 Cent Guitar Lessons under Miscellaneous, there's an interview with Brad talking about Ray. I'll tell you what kind of a small world it is. So my wife and I are on a bus going from the airport to the rental car company. Oh no, on the way back or in Dallas, which you got to travel about 20 minutes to get to the rental car plaza. So we get on the bus, and then these 3 black girls get on the bus, and they've got Ray Charles, all in Anvil cases, a bunch of like merch. Did I already tell this story? Anyway, so and another couple get on. So we're driving along, and I get to talking to these gals and say, I obviously, you guys are with Ray, huh? Oh, he's our dad. Yeah, Ray's our father. Yeah, we sell all the merchandise at the concert. And I said, well, gee, Riz, I know the guitar player real well, Brad. Do you know Brad Rebution? Bradley. Oh, yes, we love Bradley. Oh, yeah, Bradley. It was so funny. And then we're talking, and they were asking, where are you from? And we say, Corskell. Corskell's tiny little town, population -3, up in the mountains. And so I said, you probably have never heard of it. It's called Corskell. And this other couple says, gee, Riz, you know where Raymond is, which is right next to Corskell. I said, sure. Well, my sister lives there. And she mentioned her name. And I said, you're kidding. I did recording for her at my house, and I sold her a guitar. So here we are in Dallas. Can you believe it? And this happens, and everything's connected, right? We're only 5 people away from knowing Kevin Bacon or Brian Bacon. Oh, what else we got here? Let's see, arrangement of Summer of the Rainbow. Beautiful arrangement. Thank you very much. Fingering is tough. It sure is. What do I think of gypsy jazz? Well, I like it. It's so much energy. I can't play all that energy. Too much energy for me. Yeah, I can't handle it. My chord's bad. What happened to polytone amps? No longer in business. Yeah, the guy passed away. The developer and the owner of the thing. I had a good friend that worked for Polytone. I had a little music store in Thousand Oaks. It wasn't really a music store. It was a teaching studio. So before that, I was taught at this music store in Thousand Oaks called Driscoll's Music. Mr. and Mrs. Driscoll were just beautiful people and ex-musician. And they just took to me like for a long time. And I always had a job with them. So when, I'd quit teaching and I'd come back and she'd always get me students. And then I ended up working on guitars for them. So I've done a lot of stuff for them, but they made a move and went to a real more expensive mall and ended up just going out of business. So they had all these students, they got maybe 200 students. And what are we going to do? We got no place to go. So I had the bright idea, well, look, I'll step up and we can all get together and I'll rent this place and you guys bring all your students over here. So I did that and we built studios and it was going along just fine. And so one day, Polytone rep walks in and he says, hi, I'm Phil Upchurch. I said, I know who you are. My God, you're Phil Upchurch. What the heck are you doing here? And he's like, yeah, I'm repping Polytone amps. And of course, all we did is talk about music and stuff. Anyway, he did the bass line, the breezing. So Phil Upchurch, fantastic guitarist, nice guy, never got the credit he should have got for, you're kind of in the background of George Benson. And, that's a pretty, he casts a pretty big shadow. But anyway, Polytone, yeah, they were going strong there for a while. And just like most everything, it's got its peak and then it crashes and burns. That's why I'm amazed at companies like Gibson, Fender that have gone on for so long. Hey, see you guys. Thanks for dropping in to our little time here. Phil Upchurch. Wow. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I have a recording, a test recording of Phil's album. How I got it, I don't know. I think, well, he gave it to me. I tell you, it's all about location, man. So, let's see, how'd that work? My father-in-law worked for Entertainment Tonight down at the Columbia Studios. And they were going to have a party there for the entertainment tonight.
Goodbye.
And bye. And they said, Rich, why don't you get together a little group to come play a little duo? So I did. And so I called up Phil Upchurch. Hey, Phil, let's you and I just go down and play this gig, Yeah, okay. So we get down there playing, and then Phil says, you know what? I think I just want to play bass. So he gets out his bass and plays bass. And then so the entertainment reporter comes over and says, wow, Phil Upchurch. Wow. I'm Bobby Columbia. Remember Bobby Columbia, the drummer for Blood, Sweat, and Tears? Wow, holy crap, yeah. That's so funny. So anyway, Phil's been through the ringer, and I haven't seen him in a while. Am I a reseller of Heritage? Yeah, I can get you. I bought some new ones, and they always go. Guys have ordered them, and then I get them for them. I haven't had a new one long enough to put it on a web page. So right now you're looking at 8 months to get a new one. But like my Heritage Eagle Classic that I played a couple of weeks ago, man, that thing is sweet. Their work is primo. Pete Farmer doing wonderful work there. I put it against an L5 any day. Just playability, man. Playability is nice. L5 gets a beautiful sound. It's funny. L5 is like the benchmark, right? But it's a bigger body, and it's like, it's a little too much. Even Johnny Smith thought it was too much. He had to cut it down, to 3 inches. Okay. Oh, yeah, Greg, you mentioned the workshop. Yes, we are still going to have it at that facility. Although we just found a beautiful place over here on the coast. It's not big enough to hold everybody that we have there, but we could do a smaller workshop there. Bobby, yeah, Columbia. Yeah, you're right. Thank you for correcting me. I'm terrible with names, terrible. But anyway, when you live near a town, there's 2 schools of thought about where you live. If you want to be in the studios, well, it doesn't matter anymore because studio work's history, pretty much. It's all remote now. So if you want to play live, you got to be in live places, Vegas, places, Palm Springs, places where it's gone. However, I got to say, when I was in Fresno, Course Gold is right outside of Fresno. People would come through town, and they would hire musicians just on the fly. And I got to play with a lot of guys that I never would have had I lived in LA, because I'm not the first call a guy in LA. They're not going to call me. I'm way down the list. So they're going to call Mitch Holder and Tim May and those guys. So anyway, it's not like the days in Hollywood and LA where, they'd have 200 or 300 recording sessions a day, something like that. You know what I mean? It ain't like that anymore. So, but if you live in a podunk town, Course Gold, I'm just right next to a big town, Fresno, but that's not that big. But if you, grow where you're planted and people come to town, you can be amazed who you get to play with. I played with Regis Philbin, just passed away, right? So he came to the big casino there and got to play in his show. And that was a very interesting show. I wanted to talk about that. I forgot. Or did I already? I guess it doesn't matter. If I'm talking about stuff again, just write a note. So Regis, what super nice guy, super nice guy, respects the band. He comes from the old school where you have an orchestra. You don't have a band. You don't have a couple of guys up there hacking around chords. You have an orchestra. You have strings. You have timpani. You have full horn section. You know what I mean? You have 50 guys back there. And he sings standards. So look at all the people he got working. Now he could have, what gets me is these comedians. They come to a casino. They don't even half the time bring their own mic. And they collect their $100,000 and leave, right? The sound company gets a few bucks, and that's it. You get somebody like Regis, he comes in and you hire 50 musicians or 40. What a difference, Don Rickles. I play with him. He comes in and he hires, there was probably 30 guys on the bandstand with that guy. So that's the difference between things, And Don Rickles is a comedian, right? But still, he comes from the old school. You have an orchestra. Anyway, those guys are gone. But Regis, it was funny. So he gets people up from the audience, and he's interviewing them. And he's got this one girl. I'm riding back of him. He keeps grabbing his ass. I mean, serious grabbing his ass, And I'm like, he's like, whoa. And it was just, it was ridiculous. It's almost like you had to pull her off the stage. But anyway, so the next morning, they got Regis and Kathy, and he's talking about, I was in this town called Course Gold, this big casino. By the way, when I moved there was no casino. And this girl kept grabbing me. So anyway, it's funny. And his musical director did a tap dancing number. And a real sweet guy, and forgive me, I don't remember his name. But here's the kicker. All his charts were done by a guy, his last name's is it Bobby? No. He's a guitar player. Mann, M-A-N-N. Is it Bobby? No, it's not Bobby. I forget. But he's a guitar player, and he does all the Steve Tyrell arrangements. Tasteful, musical guy. And those arrangements were top notch. Anyway, enough about Regis. Good, nice guy, super nice guy. Like I know, I make it sound like I know these people. It's just, was lucky. Oh, you saw Paul Butterfield? Holy crap. That's the first time I heard. Come on. I apologize. I got so many things going. First time I heard that. Here's a funny story. Elvin Bishop comes to Fresno to play, and he plays, and then there's this there's club back in the day in Fresno. I wasn't there in the time, but my good friend Gary Newmark was in the band. So they invite Elvin to come and sit in with the band. Here's Elvin Bishop coming to sit in and play some blues, right? So what happens? All right, everybody in the band starts blowing solos like crazy. And they're just long ass solos. And they're like showing off to Elvin. So what does Elvin do? He unplugs, packs up his guitar, and walks out. Total disrespect. Crazy. Okay. Steve White, I got my heritage from Rich. Oh, good. I'm so glad you guys are happy with those guitars. By the way, they're wonderful guitars, and they're really sweet guitars. Okay, well, nice job on Midnight Blue. How about doing Angel Eyes? Yeah. Location, location, location. Angel Eyes was written by Matt Dennis. Matt Dennis lived in Thousand Oaks. Dennis gave piano lessons to my daughter's best friend. So I knew who Matt Dennis was. And I'm at a gig in Westlake Village, and Matt Dennis is doing a gig there. And there's a place where you get to eat, where they feed the band. And so I got to talking with Matt, and he kept saying, man, you got to publish with Mel Bay, because they pay you for the printing. When they print 10,000 copies, they pay you right then. Boom, you're done. Good advice. Sweet, beautiful man. Okay, let's see. Where are we at on here? Jerry, there's a name. Jerry Batista. How do you get that great jazz sound broadcast to us? What is the computer interface output to the video? Well, I'm just I just am going into I go into this box here, and then it goes into another box, and then another box, and another box. Got all these boxes. The interface, I don't really have an interface. It's not like a audio to digital converter, although I suppose it has to be. I have a mini Mac and a Blackmagic webcaster, and I just got this Blackmagic. Look at that, fade to black. Switcher, look at that. Woo! See how I can do that? On the fly. Or go like that with the transition. So I'm really stepping it up. Just spent a bunch of money just to do this. Okay. Okay, Alvin Bishop isn't a long solo guy. I hear you. Paul Butterfield Blues and Mike Bloomfield. I loved Mike Bloomfield. And, you know, what's funny is to our age group, you know, that was the band for me and my buddies. But that's before we found out about some of these other guys. And then you start listening to guys like Bertie Kessel, Tal Farlow, and Charlie Christian, Joe Pass, and it's like, holy crap. You know, yeah, they're not bending notes, but man, what notes are they playing? Oh my God. So it's kind of a trip. You know, I look at it this way, you know, when Sgt. Pepper came out, it was mind blowing, right? Everybody was, holy crap, you know. But, you know, Only the Lonely by Frank Sinatra, listen to some of those string arrangements and stuff. And you think, man, yeah, you're right. Sgt. Pepper is great, but there's a lot of great music out there. There's a lot of bad music. I like Tony Bennett's philosophy. There's good music, there's bad music. Doesn't matter what genre it is. There's great heavy metal, and there's terrible heavy metal. Great country, terrible country. Great bebop jazz, not so great bebop jazz. So I like that philosophy. I think it's great. It takes major skill and chops to play any genre well. So bingo. So that's the name of that. Boy, you guys are digging the Sweet 16s. Steve White took from Ted Green. Everybody always talks about Ted, which is fantastic because Ted is a major force for me, and I certainly don't want him to. I want him to be remembered. I never formally took lessons from Ted, but we worked together at the same guitar studio, Ernie Ball Guitars in Tarzana. And as a matter of fact, I guess I don't know if I'm telling these stories again. Does it matter if I retell the same story? Let me know, okay? But so yeah, I got to hang out with Ted a lot, and so just he'd have a cancellation, I have a cancellation or something, and just hanging out. And so after the store closed, we hang out. Ted is the kind of guy. He said, he looked at my 335, and he played it, and with the volume, when you turn the volume down, the tone would roll off too. And he said, your guitar's wired wrong. Let me fix it. And he tore that thing apart like nobody's business. And that's with the pans all around the tone pots and everything, and unsoldered those. Like in a half an hour and rewired it. It was crazy. Anyway, let's face it, his Telecaster had more switches than the space shuttle. So anyway, gosh, how are we doing? Is everybody happy out there? I really want to thank everybody for. Can you share some insights into Tim? I used to. Hey, so Greg, Jamie Finley's got a book out. On those things, and you basically get yourself a chord, like bar across on the 5th fret, and you put your finger there. This thumbnail is not so hot right now. So there's your harmonic, right? All right, so now this note here is G, right? Now if I hit this note, and then I'm hitting this A here. Now if I go the other way, so with this ring finger, I'm grabbing that. So I'm hitting this note here, A, and then I'm going to a C note here, a D here, harmonic on a D here. Now going back down, this note's A. I could go C, A, something like that. I don't do those anymore because of my arthritis. I used to do them a lot better. So that's kind of the thing about it. So you can think in your mind that these are notes, okay? That this is an A and this is a G. Well, if you want to go up, a G is first and then an A. Get the idea? So that's the first place to start. I think it's there's a couple books out about Lenny's harmonics and stuff, and I think Jamie Finley has a wonderful book out on that as well. Send me. Now I have a lesson on Blue Moon, which I like better. Blue Moon. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, okay, let's see. Do I have a good arrangement of Sunny? No. No, I don't really have a good arrangement. I've played that song a billion times, but never really sat down and worked out an arrangement. Well, you guys, yeah, Horace Silver did have a good sense of humor. You know what? What a great way to end our session, because we got to end it sometime. I think I have Opus the Funk in here, do I? I do. Let's see if I can do it, because it's got to count off. Let me turn that. Let me start again. Hey, come on. Oops, I turned it on. All right, sorry. This is called Opus Defunct. Okay, yeah, that was Opus Defunct by uh, Horace Silver. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you joining me. And I think I'm going to try to do it next Wednesday as well. Sunday is my wife and I's, Gail's, 50th wedding anniversary. So we won't be streaming. I don't know. We'll be dancing. So, anyways, we're going to have a big, not a big party. COVID kind of got rid of that. So, just some family and a couple friends. And that's our 50th wedding anniversary. Can you believe it? It's unbelievable. Time flies. Doesn't feel like 50 years. I don't know. Anyway, so, but I think we'll do it a week from tonight, 7 o'clock. So, again, thank you for joining me. And hey, talk at you later. Adios, amigos.